How do you know if you are magnetic? Hello, 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 and welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifestor, and I'm sure you are too, because you are consuming content like this. The name of this channel is Holistic Manifesting, because I believe in a whole body, whole mind, and whole being experience when it comes to manifesting these amazing lives that we are choosing. What I'm discussing today is magnetism. Magnetism is when you are in full alignment. And I'm not saying that's like 100%, right? Because I don't know if we ever get to 100% alignment. That might be the big old spiritual hoopla that some people talk about when they've transcended this 3D experience, right? But when you're in full alignment, there's like an easy space that your mind and your body and your overall attitude shifts towards, right? When we're in that space, everything feels light and easy, and it feels like it's not something that we have to work really hard for, right? Like we feel like, I feel content today. Not sure why, but I would just lean into feeling contentment, right? It feels really great to feel content, and we're just kind of happy with it, right? So, but there's some obvious signs like how the world reacts to you that shows you that you are magnetic. And when you're magnetic, you're in full alignment, and you already know that whatever you're trying to manifest and create is going to be fully attracted to you in those moments and make its way closer and closer to you, because your resistance is being put down. Your resistance is at a very low level, because you're not like pushing and pulling in different directions. You're just allowing yourself to be, right? Number one way that I know that I am like in alignment and that I am in a magnetic space in general is that when I go out, I receive compliments almost everywhere I go. And it can be for the simplest things. It can be, oh, you look so beautiful today, blah, 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 which somebody told me this morning. I appreciate that. Or it can be, oh, I love your jewelry. Everything is matching. I remember a girl told me this in line. She's like, everything goes together. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Almost anything, right? Anything you can think of. I was trying to think of one of the oddest compliments. I was out yesterday morning, and this older lady had to be like 80 something. I was in like Kroger, and right when customer service opened, and that's like only the people that's mostly elderly people, and she had to be 80 plus, if not 90. I mean, she was up there and she was still doing her grocery shopping and stuff. And she passed me and was like, well, don't you look cute? She said, you look so good, kind of sexy too. And I had to laugh to myself. I'm like, that is really, really funny. But I was like, you get these compliments that come from all different directions that you don't even expect out of the blue. I was in Office Depot the other day, and this guy, young guy, and I was just like, I'm grown. Like, and somewhere in their 20s was just like, hey, I really love your hair. It's like, it's so nice. And I was like, oh, thank you so much, right? So you already know that you're in that good space when you are like getting these odd compliments or really nice compliments or deserving, whatever way you want to look at them, from many different places. And it's not even something that you're soliciting. Like, you're not getting dressed up and being a certain way or posing or looking a certain way or walking a certain way just so people can tell you that you look cute that day or something. Or like fishing and saying, oh, I look so ugly today. Oh, I'm so fat. People used to do that when I was younger, like friends I had and stuff. But it's kind of funny, but you're not like doing those sort of things. You're literally just existing, and you're like looking nice because you want to look nice, and people are just giving compliments just because they want to. And it's really, that you're magnetic and you're in alignment there, because they could have talked to a whole bunch of different people, but you attracted that in, right? Another thing I've noticed is that unexpected money shows up in your life. I've had a couple of those instances lately. Now, there's expected money, but unexpected money, that's the fun part. When I was out doing something, I'll just say there was a series of events that happened because I decided to go to a clothing store and pick up some tank tops, because I was like, I need a black one and a white one, something to throw on real easy to go just to run errands with and stuff like that. And I didn't have a deep need for it, but it was just like on a whim, let me go do this. Well, something happened in this interaction that I had when I was out there, and I wound up running into someone who had something available to me. We'll say it like that. And it was a very healthy amount of money, like in a couple of thousand range, right? And it was just it only showed up because I just happened to run out and was like, let me get some tank tops. Like if I was in my house, this wouldn't have happened if I had not made the connection. And what's so funny is that because I'm not ever looking for anything or trying to like have agendas with people or in that kind of space, when a lady knocked on my window to ask me the question and to share her information with me, I wrote it down like this. Because people that are doing mischievous things are clever. And I just didn't feel like being bothered. I was like, Sometimes they're dressed up in business suits and they like got this long, story and stuff. She came to the window, was like, did it like that. And I wrote it down. She was like, hey, are you so-and-so, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, yeah, what is it? She was like, oh, I was wondering if, and it wound up being a couple of $1,000s type of incident that happened that I was just wandering around for, right? And that's something that you'll notice. I'm looking at notes over here, so don't mind me. Something that you'll notice, that you'll get these unexpected, and it doesn't have to be that much. It may be smaller amounts and stuff to where people are just like, oh, here, I forgot to give this to you. Or something will come in the mail that you completely forgot about. I think it was something that I purchased about a month ago too. And I completely written it off. And I was doing a budgeting in my, checking account and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, we got that paid, that, and everything's fine there. And all is well. And then I was sitting there, it was just like, oh, you have a refund for like $200 and something. I was like, oh my God, I forgot I turned that thing. I thought they gave me that money like a month ago. I didn't even look at it again. I didn't even know it took that long. And so to me, that's also unexpected money because I thought it was already done. And that's $200+ on top of something that I already had sitting, in my account. So what I'm saying is that you'll find that these little instances of like, abundance in some kind of way, because it doesn't even have to be money. And that's what I want to focus on. It doesn't have to be money. It can be favors. It can be gifts, treats, all that kind of stuff. Because I was in the beauty store the other day. It was yesterday. And I was in Ulta. And I was buying this new skincare line. It wasn't new. I don't know if it was new, but a skincare line because I wanted to try it out and I wanted to start using a new routine because, just taking makeup off and doing all this kind of stuff. And it's something also too for protecting from the sun because I like to go on all these walks and all these sort of things. And when I was in there, I had ladies from different directions telling me, now normally I've gone in there and like nobody talks to me. So it just was happened to be that day. And she was like, oh, here's a free gift for this. Oh, and you qualify for $15 off. Oh, and then here's another free gift for this over here. And I walked out of there with a whole big bag of stuff and like I only bought like 2 things. And I was like, wow, that was so nice. I was like, what a nice experience. And then when I came in the store, this lady held the door open for me to come in. And I was like, oh, well, thank you so much. Like she held it like she was concierge. And I said, thank you so much. And she was wearing all black. So my assumption was that she worked there. She was just walking in before me. And I said, thank you. And she was like, thank you for saying thank you because some people don't say thank you. I was like, that's true. And she fell out laughing. But she didn't even work there. She was just buying something and leaving. So you'll find these instances happening to where people are doing nice things for you. You're receiving things. You are getting things like unexpected things are showing up, right? That's when you know you're in a magnetic space. Another thing that happens is that a person that you may have had a previous negative interaction with or something that is not positive. I remember working in spaces sometimes with people whenever I was in that mode of being in alignment and being magnetic, and I kind of just let things go and say what's going to be is going to be. You'll see this overall shift from them to where they stop giving you a hard time. And you're just like, well, how is that even possible? Or either you'll go somewhere and you'll see right before you or somebody else has gotten a hard time from a clerk at a counter, and you go up to the same exact person and they're being genuine and sweet with you. And you're just like, what's the difference there? But that's because of your energy. That's because of your magnetism that's showing up. It's like everything pointed at, I should have got the same bad attitude that the last person got. But because your energy is so strong and your magnetism is so strong in that moment that you get a new version of people sometimes. And that can happen with people you just met in a moment, or that can happen with people that you've been long-term connections with. It's like all of a sudden they're not showing you the stink face anymore. And you're just like, hey, what happened with that person? They were kind of acting like a bit of a butthole to me for a while, but I was ignoring it because that's just not the frequency I'm going to be vibrating on with anybody. And then all of a sudden, they're being better. I can even see this with my own children. Like the youngest one don't really do that contemptuous sort of attitude. She's always in her own zone. The oldest one kind of does the teenager thing sometime on me. And I'm like, girl, I'm the last person. I don't need to talk to nobody. You will be looking for me before I'm looking for you. Like, don't give me wasted attitude. And so I'm like in a good space and I'm feeling magnetic and free and excited and feeling good. And her whole attitude will shift. So sometimes we don't realize we take over the space with our magnetism and our positive energy that's going off, right? And we know it by the way the outside environment is reacting to us. And the last thing I have here is that when you're not remotely worried about manifesting anything in a hurry, like too specific, that's how you know you're in a magnetic space. Most of the time we walk around with this kind of wanting energy. It's always like, what's the next thing? What am I creating next? What am I going to get next? What's going to show up in my life tomorrow? Is this a sign? Is this a clue? I saw numbers today, 333, 111, 444. You know, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of all those things. And we walk into this space and we have this constant, always turned on to what are the signs? What are some projections that's showing up in our lives to let us know that this particular manifestation is coming? But when you get into the space to where you're not remotely worried about what manifestation is coming next, like you're in that level of contentment, like you're not even like, what's going to show up tomorrow? Who's it going to be? Who's going to call next? What's the next text message going to be? And all these sort of things. And you're kind of just like, I'm fine. That's when you know that you're in a magnetic space. And I can promise you, when you get into that space, that's when a lot of things are going to start attracting into your space. And you're going to try to figure out, where did this come from? People are going to email you haven't heard from in a while for really specific things. If you're doing business, those things are going to show up. People are going to ask you questions and inquire more. I even see it doing YouTube. Like when I'm in that certain kind of space and I'm like, oh yeah, I did post a video or something like that. Those videos tend to get way more views. If I post and I'm just like looking at it and saying, oh, I wonder if that was good, and checking to see whether or not it's got views on it and all that kind of stuff, those move the slowest. So when I get into that magnetic aligned space, it's like I can't even remember to check the numbers. Like I don't even remember to check them. And that's how you want to be, right? So how you know you are feeling magnetic, how you know you are in a magnetic space. These are the ways that I know. And I'm like, girl, you're tuned in, you're tapped in, and what is it Abraham Hicks says? You're tapped in, you're turned on, tuned in, tapped in, whatever it is. You're all those things right now. You're in really good alignment, because look at all the beautiful things that are showing up in your life, right? I even take it as a sign when I go to the park and it's raining in the morning, and like the minute I go out there, the rain goes away, and I do my whole 10,000 mile, almost 5 mile walk, whichever little loop-de-loops I use. And I come back, and as soon as I'm almost 10, 15 feet from my car, I can feel raindrops again. And I'm like, hey man, I'm in alignment. That's magnetic to have attracted that particular experience. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.